name is Mohamad Bouzaghrane. I'm a senior civil engineering major in Marrakesh, Morocco, and I swim at Howard for 4 years.
For most students, picking a college to attend is a big choice. Some have known their whole lives, while others figure it out as they go. For Mohamad Bouzaghrane, it was more than just a name. He had to decide if he wanted to travel across the world. Known to his colleagues and friends as Mo, Bouzaghrane had a special background that set him apart from the rest of his teammates. Mo was born and raised in Marrakesh, one of the 4 major former imperial cities of Morocco.
To convince my parents, because they didn't really want me to go somewhere far, because the US and Morocco is 4,000 miles apart, and it's 5 hours in time difference. So if it's 1 here, it's 6 over there. So it's really crazy. A whole nother continent. I remember on the airplane, I was like, oh, what if he doesn't show up? What if he goes to the wrong gate? What if this happens? How am I gonna get there?
Swimming was not always on Mohamad's radar. It wasn't until he was introduced to longtime friend and coach, Reda Baroudi, that Mohamad grew to love the sport.
Soccer is the most popular sport back home, and I really think it's the most popular sport in the world. And I really loved it. I really loved playing soccer a lot. I would play it anywhere. When I was 7 years old, I would play it anywhere. A couple of matches into the league, I got injured. My coach was like, hey, you run all the time, back and forth on the field. You might as well just try track. My second meet in track, I got injured. And I was like, oh man, this is what I didn't want. And the doctor was like, well, probably you should try swimming. My parents agreed with the idea, so it's not like I had to convince them to change sports or anything like that. They didn't want something that would hurt me. They didn't want something that would, be a physical barrier to me, right? I started learning all the 4 strokes and all of that. Started learning drills and all that. Then I joined the club, and it happened to be that one of my friends, who was a lot older than me though, is the coach.
As if traveling almost 4,000 miles away from home wasn't enough, outside of the pool, Mohamad had another weapon under his belt.
You look at Mohamad and first off you acknowledge his academic success. But as you get to know Mohamad, you realize that it didn't come just so easy.
Yeah, I think the one thing that would resonate amongst all of us definitely is his work ethic. It's actually ridiculous how amazing his work ethic is. And I think what makes him such a unique person is that he's naturally a genius and he works extremely hard. So that's what makes him exponentially smart. And people laugh and say oh Mohamad, you're so smart, and I always make sure and tell people Mohamad's smart, but he works hard as well. So that's what takes him to that other level.
His work ethic carries into I feel like everybody's saying his life. Yeah, it's who he is as a person. When Mohamad got here, he was not the fastest, but his work ethic probably, if I have to say, was one of the hardest of the kids who came in with him. Mohamad knew where he wanted to be, and he knew he wasn't at that level, and he knew he was going to get there.
Since his arrival to Howard University in 2011, Mohamad's dedication and determination have led him to excel further than anyone's expectations. In 2011, Mohamad averaged 1 minute 11 seconds in his 100-meter breaststroke. Now fast forward 4 years later, and he has dropped that time by 7 seconds to end his senior season at the Coastal Collegiate Swimming Association's championship meets, coming in at 1 minute and 4 seconds.
People say, not many swimmers will say, that swimmers are crazy, because you have to be crazy to go up and down the pool every day, non-stop, 5:30 in the mornings in the cold water, and doing it over and over, knowing what you're getting into. So that really, I guess, kind of plays into his character as a perfectionist, and he's very critical of himself and the work that he does. And I think that only has helped him achieve, the great things that he's been able to do, not only as a swimmer, but even more importantly, as a student.
Exactly. Mohamad was quite the character. His English was bad when he first came here.
He didn't curse.
Yeah, he didn't curse. He ate all halal food.
I think that was his only B out of his whole Howard career was English.
Yeah, it was freshman English.
Everything else.
Everything else was pretty B out of you should have a 4.0 if it wasn't for freshman year.
Yes.
Despite the 1B from freshman year, Mohamad still continues to defy the odds. In the fall of his senior year, Mohamad applied to 10 major schools in hopes of pursuing his master's in engineering. He applied to schools like the University of Texas at Austin, University of Florida, the University of California, Irvine, and the University of California, Berkeley. He was accepted into all 10 schools.
Mohamad actually is one of my bestest friends that I've ever had in my life and in my Howard career. And actually the other day I was like crying because I realized that after I graduate, I don't know when next I'm gonna see.
Alia, don't cry.
I don't know when I'm gonna see him again because he's going to California to like do big things.
With his swimming career behind him and graduation approaching, this Bison has charged forward and defied all of the odds.